Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending upon where you're located. I'd like to welcome you to the latest of Hitachi's webinar series, Creating an End-to-End Solution for Electron Microscopy, Visualization, and Analysis. This webinar is brought to you today by Media Cybernetics and Hitachi. This webinar will be presented by subject matter experts including Jamil J. Clarke and Jeff Knipe. Mr. Jamil J. Clarke is currently a Senior Applications Engineer with the Nanotechnology Systems Division of Hitachi High-Tech America Incorporated, residing in Hillsboro, Oregon. In his current role, he is responsible for supporting North and South America, providing technical expertise, applications development, and collaborating with researchers in several nanotechnology-related fields. His interests include FibSem systems development, broad ion beam and focused ion beam applications, and advanced automated image processing. Mr. Jeff Knipe is the Special Projects Product Manager for Media Cybernetics. In his current role, he is involved with developing new applications, product development, and product training. His background includes developing solutions for biological, materials, semiconductor, and inspection fields. With that, I'd like to introduce Mr. Jamil J. Clarke. Thank you.
Oh, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Jamil Clarke with Hitachi, and I will be co-hosting this webinar with Jeff Knipe, if you can say hello.
Hello, and thank you for attending today.
So today's discussion is going to revolve about creating an end-to-end solution for electron microscopy and visualization and analysis.
All right, again, my name is Jeff Knipe, Special Products Manager for Media Cybernetics, and I'd like to talk just briefly about Media Cybernetics. We developed the Image Pro image analysis software platform. As you can see, there are quite a number of image analysis solutions that we provide, things ranging from manual measurements for maybe doing trench analysis in semiconductor, particle size analysis, and we'll go through some of these examples later today, particle characterization, semiconductor, quality assurance, research, failure analysis, maybe looking at ball grid arrays, fiber analysis for electrospun fiber materials, to, as you can see on the image on the right, FibSem, where you're looking at 3D volume rendering and analysis, and all host a range of biological and nanomaterials. For more information, you can access our website at mediacy.com. So I'll talk a little bit about the Image Pro family. So Image Pro consists of Image Pro with a set of basic features, which is included with Hitachi Systems going out in the Americas. And this includes image processing, image pre-processing, filtering, manual 2D analysis, where you're taking measurements, where you're defining the region of interest or point to point, being able to generate reports. This also includes a special feature, a Send to Image Pro button on a number of SEMs or TMs to actually send the image directly into Image Pro. And then there's the Image Pro Advanced features, which is a separate edition, which includes automated analysis, automated 2D analysis, and from a segmentation standpoint, identifying your objects of interest, machine learning-based classification, or I should say identification of your materials or objects, and classification, batch processing, because many times you're analyzing more than a single image, and custom reporting of the data. In addition to expand the capability, we also have modules, in this case a 3D visualization and analysis module, which you'll see a little bit more of later today. That includes volume rendering, 3D analysis, both automated and manual, and movie making. And another module is big data visualization, for when you have FibSem image stacks that are in the terabyte range, larger than you can visualize. This is a module we have for being able to convert that data set into a visual form you can visualize on your computer, on standard computers. And we also have a series of apps or applications for such things as fiber thickness and orientation, which you'll see, fiber separation, and intermetallic corrosion in semiconductor.
Well, thank you, Jeff. So as far as Hitachi, for those who don't know, I'm part of Hitachi High-Tech America. Our company was founded in 1910 And from there, we've been a pioneer in the development and supply of scientific instrumentation and medical systems, and bio-related products as well as industrial equipment. So for our professionals, we make contributions of lasting significance for customers through concentration on innovative design, utilization of the world's most advanced technologies, comprehensive marketing, and versatile sales and service experience. Our employees work to deliver a brand of products and services that meet or exceed customer expectations in terms of value, reputation, and dependability. At Hitachi, our culture embraces partnerships with leading universities, research facilities, and companies worldwide. Partnerships directed toward providing you, the customer, with superior quality products and services at fair and competitive prices. So that leads me to a little bit of history here as far as our first commercial TEM. So this was had a range of 5 to 10 nanometers and can operate at 50 kV. Ever since then, we've commercialized the first SEM, the HSM2, in 1970. And what is very special and near and dear to our core technology was the first commercialized cold FESEM, the HFS-2, in 1971, which was able to obtain, shockingly at that time, 3 nanometers at 30 kV. So for Hitachi High-Tech America, evolving technology in the field of electron and ion microscopy is for the betterment of all of us, especially the community as a whole. And given the partnerships that we've had through the years, it was actually led with one key person who is the cornerstone for microscopy, and that would be Professor Albert Crew. One of the youngest and brightest professors that was obtained a position as director at Argonne National Lab. Hitachi and Dr. Crew have collaborated in order to develop the first field emission electron microscope. At that time, and being so young, everyone in the field was very, very doubtful that field emission, quote unquote, could actually break through in order to get to nanometer scale imaging. But it was this kind of collaboration that really set the hallmark of what Hitachi represents for all the products that followed up until today. So I encourage all of you to let you know that we are very, very open in order to develop new ideas, new designs, and new technologies so we can work together and have an answer for those challenging questions that pose us now. So with that said, let's get started. So Image Pro for Hitachi Systems is a collaboration between Media Cybernetics and Hitachi. And the idea behind this is really to provide a meaningful and easy way to do image processing. For those who know, electron microscopy is very, very useful as a tool to provide analysis, have multiple detectors in order to obtain different kinds of measurements in situ. And those tend to lead in the applications such as metallurgy, ceramics, powders, composites, advanced materials, a lot of polymer chemistry these days especially, as well as bioscience. But the fact is that just with the electron microscope itself, it's great at generating data. What we need to do is tie it together. And that's where Jeff will talk a little bit about how that is offered here on this slide.
So as Jamil mentioned, there is a very close partnership. And one of the things we did mention is the connection between sending images directly into Image Pro. And so, again, try and provide a range of solutions, again, for a broad range of materials, applications. This allows us to, process the data. We're automatically reading in the calibration, so everything's automatically calibrated in the right units. And then to obtain, and we'll see in the examples forthcoming, the range of measurements that you can use to characterize your materials or actually to do classification, because there's some very sophisticated classification techniques available within ImagePro. And then once you have all that, of course, being able to report out the data, make it available for presentations with a range of, bar charts, pie charts, and histograms, including the images, or actually having the measurements overlaid on the image for documentation purposes and presentation.
So the fact remains is that with ImagePro and Hitachi, there's numerous types of different applications, more than what we can show you now. It's really just to highlight the capability of bringing these two technologies together. Whether you have a variable pressure SEM, a field emission FEM, a FIB SEM, or even TEM or SEM type of microscope. All of these things are auto-calibrated and can interface with ImagePro. The other thing is the fact that we can process images, measure those images, and represent that data in a visual format, whether it's a bar chart, or if it's just outputting statistics, and it's all the same software, it's all the same interface. I've encountered a lot of different labs and researchers that tend to use one software for one particular aspect and a different software for another aspect. ImagePro gives you all of that capability all in one interface, so that way you only need to learn one type of software and you're done.